Hello and welcome to the Collapse Experiment. So today we are discussing who is the problem? Is it straight white men or is it just society itself? So we're going to dive into that. First, let me pull up some articles here. And if you like this video, please like it, subscribe to the channel. It helps me out. Currently, I'm at like 514 subscribers, and it seems like just a couple days ago, I just got over 500. So, seems to be going up at a good rate. And let's see if we can find Men Leaving Society. And of course, we've got Men Society Has Failed You, a response. Oh, now this is Medium. Is it going to do like some type of you have to have a membership, sign up for free, or could I just read this? I think it's going to let me read it. So let's see what Mr. Jack Bohannon published in Hello Love. Okay, Medium. Who's this Jack guy? Traveled the world to interview 101 people about gender. Now he's got a pink background and a smug look on his face. Helping men do better with or for women, coaching and podcast. I'm not going to like this article. Oh my God. This guy is such a. He ends up in a real. If he ends up in a relationship, he's going to be such a cuck. There are people in our society who nobody cares about, sees, or loves. They are forgotten men. If a guy falls through the cracks, if he fails to perform for long enough or slips into homelessness, that's it. It's over for him, especially if he's a bit older. I've seen them. I've talked to them. They are scared, depressed, lonely, sometimes bitter. They tell stories of good times when they had a job and a family and something went wrong. A messy divorce, a bad business partnership, an accident or an addiction. Now these men struggle to keep a roof over their heads. Worse still, they're demoralized. The healthy egos they once had are battered to bloody pieces. I bet he had fun writing this. I bet you this guy like types with one hand and touches himself with the other. So if I enter my 40s without a relationship, I wonder, is this my future? No. Because as long as you are financially secure, meaning you have a job and you're not stupid, you should be fine. Sure, I have some money. I have marketable skills. You're writing on Medium, okay? And you interviewed a bunch of people. But I am one health problem away from being out on the street, forgotten, unseen forever. So you don't have health care doing this job. Is that what I'm hearing? You're one health problem away? That's kind of weird. It's hard to know. You might be saying, then suck it up, dude. Get to work. Make money. Invest the money. Stop complaining. It's got kind of a. I mean, whoever that person is, they kind of have a point. Believe me, I'm way ahead of you. The voice in my head is telling me the same thing. But not everything is under my control or yours. No shit, Sherlock. Okay. After all, many of the guys who suffer late life dismantling had money too. Yeah, and she took half, and the lawyer took another chunk. Then there's alimony, and there's child support, and then you got to pay the taxes on the stuff that you had on two-person income. Everybody knows this story, okay? Yeah, this happens to a lot of guys. They were small business owners like me, and they once had loving, committed relationships like me. Oh, so you no longer have a loving, committed relationship. Do tell. Yet after their downfall, people avoid these fallen men like they avoid turds on the sidewalk. No. Actually, I think this article is trying to say that, like, men just aren't trying, when in reality, they do try. It's that when they go out there, when they try to get into the dating market again, they're not desired. We assume fallen men are guilty of their failures. We blame them for their suffering. Okay. Ergoic wounds, shame, multiply their pain of failure by a factor of 10. It's a moral indictment for a man to be struggling. We assume he is less. Who's we, and why are you judging these people? Okay, this dude is putting himself with the people who are shaming and judging the people who are struggling. And there's a lot of people struggling in this country right now, not just men. We avoid these men for 3 main reasons. Okay. Their suffering provokes our guilt. Why would you feel guilty? What did you do? Some suffer mental health problems. Okay, yeah, the mental health problems. I don't know who he's focusing on here. Is this people who were, I don't know, overseas fighting stupid wars and ended up with traumatic brain injuries, PTSD? Are these the mental health problems? Because usually mental health problems show themselves by the 20s. When somebody's in their 20s, that stuff starts popping up. So some suffer mental health problems. A lot of those were already homeless or kicked out because mental health problems. They just cannot cohabitate, right? And thanks to Reagan, there's nowhere for these people to go. Here's a low blow. They are not useful. Who the are you to say when someone is useful or not? They are not useful. I'm sorry, but I didn't have that many skills when I was young. But I figured my way out from being a dishwasher, okay? Which is the lowest rank that you can be in a freaking kitchen, right? Take out the trash, wash these dishes, make sure that the cups and glasses are stocked. Hey, I need some plates. You are everybody's bitch at that point. That is your skill, making sure shit keeps going on your end. Anybody can do that job. So this asshole saying they are not useful, really? Are they paraplegic, quadriplegic? Like, what about these people makes them useless? Exactly. Can you explain that? That one, that third one is the kicker. I hope he explains this. Women in our society suffer too, maybe more, and homelessness is incredibly dangerous for women. Oh, okay. So he just left out the other, what, 50% of homeless people? Because, I mean, from what I've seen, living in Kalamazoo, living up here in Cadillac, it's really like a 50-50 split. The only difference is between men and women is that a social worker has more of an advantage getting a woman off the streets than any dude, right? Like, yeah, there's things that veterans can get, which is a huge pain in the ass. And at that point, a lot of them just figured it is easier to just be homeless than deal with this bureaucracy, okay? Continuing on. But in these situations of extreme struggle, people continue to see women as individuals. They perceive them as victims and try to help. Okay, so he's acknowledging what I just said. They ask about their lives and how they ended up where they are. Men, however, stop being people. No, dude, society lumps a struggling male into a conceptual problem. He becomes part of the homeless epidemic. He loses his individuality. People stop seeing him as a person, and he's never loved again. Boo freaking who. This truth is anecdotal. I've seen these guys in men's circles again and again. Here are statistics too. The trouble is, wait, is this a link? No. Here are statistics too. That's a weird sentence. I don't know what that's referred to. The trouble is, these men are never treated as people to begin with, even before they fell through the cracks. This is the topic I was going to talk about. As men, we are our outcomes and little else. As men, we are sources of poverty. Oh, we are sources of productivity. We are source generators, not people. Yeah, there's some truth to that. We must conform to a narrow definition of masculine personhood characterized by aggression, suppression, and need to perform. Does this guy have issues performing in bed? I don't know. Dismissal into homelessness is the final stage of toxic masculinity. Discarding individuals when they are not useful. Wait, that's two things. That's this sentence here. Dismissal into homelessness is the final stage of toxic masculinity. Who's the toxic one? The guy who's becoming homeless? Is he the one that has toxic masculinity? Discarding individuals when they are not useful. That's society. Society is the one discarding these people. Is he saying it's toxic because they're becoming homeless? Is he saying they're doing it by their own means? The concept of toxic masculinity is not anti-man. It's not something feminists talk about to suppress men. Angry men spin it that way, but women rarely apply this term in a way that condemns manhood. I'm calling bullshit here. This is bullshit. This guy has so many women that he works with that he wishes he could bang, that wear the pink little knitted hats, and they've got the green and the blue hair, and they want absolutely nothing to do with him, and they go home and they have these big, buff, hairy, bearded men that they're banging, and this guy is like, look at me, I speak your language, and they're like, okay, you can come to the rally with us. Toxic masculinity does not mean all masculinity is toxic. It's not a description of men or an indictment. Yeah, it is. Yes, that's exactly what it is. Anything regarding manhood is regarded as toxic. That's what that is. Not all fruit is rotten. Rotten fruit is rotten. Not all masculinity is toxic. Toxic masculinity is toxic. Okay. Is he going to say what exactly is toxic? Toxic masculinity is a social mechanism that dehumanizes men and creates a social structure by which aggressive men prosper at the expense of everyone. No. What? So, let me get this straight. If if a man prospers in what he's doing, it's at the expense of someone else. He just can't prosper by doing something. Is this what he's saying? Toxic masculinity, let's see here, is a societal mechanism that dehumanizes men and creates a social structure by which aggressive men prosper at the expense of everyone. You know what? If guys weren't aggressive when it came to things that they were doing, nothing would get done. And it needs to stop. And this is like in bold, dark letters. It's kind of crazy. He does a lot of weird stuff in here. With the exceptions of anger and pride, our emotions are constricted like testicles in a mechanic's vice. This guy's into some weird stuff. The opportunity for healthy relationships gets cut like an Achilles tendon because without emotion, a man becomes a hollow shell. Well, maybe if women were just not tearing us down all the time, making us not want to be involved or emotionally involve ourselves with anything or anyone because we're just going to get kicked in the nuts and thrown aside and have half our shit taken. I see this in older men who rattled through life like scared children. Fuck you. Detached from themselves and the people around them. No, it's because we've been hurt and we're tired of that shit. Usually by the people that we're supposed to be caring about, or we thought cared about us. They may feel sour and their success or about their success or discouraged for their lack thereof, but few identify the reasons for their misery. They're detached from themselves. Okay. This guy, I want to say maybe he's talking about himself. It's just a guess. How much more of this do we have? Oh, not much. Not much at all. Okay. In the old world, the ability to get away with an injustice sanctified its validity. No, that's like politician babble. Like, if we don't get caught, it's not illegal. Like politicians do. Might makes right, as the saying goes. Sounds very familiar, like, I don't know, government. But true might make true right. He actually wrote this. But true might make true right. Okay. There's a new place emerging for men who buck the old paradigm and reclaim their wholeness. Are they getting, like, uncircumcised? The man with integrated emotions and an upright spine is a powerful creature indeed. The hollow alpha male type looks awkward in comparison. The hollow alpha male type. Okay, I don't know who he's hanging out that's an alpha male, but in the first line he described an alpha male. A man with integrated emotions. Yeah, he keeps it under check. And an upright spine. Yeah, okay, I'm running this place. That's an alpha male, dude. Like his breathing. Wait. The hollow alpha male type looks awkward in comparison, like his breathing is shallow. His breathing is shallow. No. That's like the soy latte, guys. Yeah, can you sprinkle some cinnamon on that too? No. Who is he talking about? You can recognize a new version of masculinity by the ease of the man who embodies it. It's his ability to speak clearly, his groundedness and depth. He can overturn a destructive conversation and lead people where he wants them to go because they instinctively trust his intentions. And I'm not saying I'm that guy. You're not that guy. You're not. But I've had my finer moments. Healthy masculinity is powerful. Okay, dude, I'm still going to point out the background on your photo is pink. Advice. There's a ton of advice out there on how to be a better man, most of which is lost on most men who need it most. Do therapy, get healthy, care for yourself, disbelieve the gender role BS, etc. Dudes cannot have children. Dudes cannot have children. I'm just going to point that out. Disbelieve the gender role. Really? Okay. Why are you using gender? Sex. There's two sexes. Like, what the hell? For me, the end result is feel good about yourself unconditionally. No. If you don't like how you look, you can do something about that. If you know you don't have a grasp of a certain topic that you'd like to know more about, you do something about it. You learn. No, feel good about yourself unconditionally. That's accepting yourself for who you are and basically saying, like, I shouldn't strive to be better, a better version of myself. And then he says, because why not? The worst effects of toxic masculinity come from comparison. The need to self-qualify based on our performance creates a vicious treadmill, along with subclass men. The guys who can't keep up or who perceive that they can't keep up feel worse and worse about themselves, sinking into a downtrodden identity that repels other people, including women. Okay, the guys who can't keep up, you should be motivated to do better for yourself. Forget the whole, like, women thing. Like, if you're staying behind, if you're still working at McDonald's at 35 and you've been there since you started at 16, if you're not the manager, what are you doing? I'm guessing you're going home and playing video games at night. Yeah, you should strive to be better. If you can't keep up, just keep trying to be better. The younger guys behind you are the ones that should be doing the shit job you're trying to get away from. We shouldn't blame women for wanting to be around happy, healthy men. Instead, they don't want happy, healthy men. They don't. They find a good guy, and then they still go after the bad boy that they want to change. He should change. If he loves me, he'd really change. Instead, we should create the conditions for men to be happy and healthy and discard the BS about performance outcomes. Is he just trying to talk people out of not doing the same job he does so he gets more work? Is that what this is all about? The alternative to this downward spiral is an upward spiral. People and opportunities are attracted to confidence, self-love, and uninhibited well-being. Don't try, and by not trying, you'll get more stuff? Okay. When we feel good about ourselves, regardless of our performance, it opens up doors and expands our social circle. No. With unconditional self-regard, we don't need anything to bolster our identities. That's sexy. With unconditional self-regard, should I get rid of that beer gut? No. Because I like my beer gut and that's sexy. Dude, nobody, this is like the worst advice. Even men who got effed over can get relief. Yeah, they can get relief by reclaiming human dignity and releasing the societal obsession with outcomes. What was your expected outcome with this article, dude? What was that? Yes, you need a mission and a sense of purpose in life. Go ahead, contradict yourself some more. Yes, you need a roof over your head and a full fridge. This guy. Yes, we, as men, need close relationships and social circle. Not really. Like, this is primarily my social circle. Like, yeah. But we don't need to balance our self-worth on the knife's edge of getting results and making money. And if we find ourselves in the gutter, the best response is self-compassion rather than condemnation. Why does he assume that some guy, maybe you'll lose your job, maybe you've got to downgrade to doing something else, maybe you had to move for some reason. Why does he think that they ended up homeless? What is going on here? Shit happens and there's a chance life will kick us in the face. Yeah? Let's not compound the problem with self-judgment. Maybe if I had done things different and the next time around I won't do that thing again? Is that self-judgment, or is that learning from the experience? Let's sit and talk with that guy at the bus stop. That is how he closed out this art. Let's sit and talk with that guy at the bus stop. Because homeless people apparently hang out at bus stops. This, wow. This is like the biggest load of bull crap. It's a 5-minute read. Yeah, published in Hello Love. Oh my God, Men's Society has failed you. This is, I'm gonna have to do more videos on this topic because this article in particular is like its own thing. Like, I don't understand how, for one, how did this get published? What garbage company like actually published this shit and paid this dude for this? Where it's basically saying like you shouldn't have goals and the desire for money. Okay, so what are you doing by writing this article? Like, obviously you want to be a paid writer. You're trying to get this propaganda horse shit out there about toxic masculinity, which you never really fully explain as to what the hell that is. And then when you're describing like what makes a healthy dude, you're describing what feminists call toxic masculinity. Jack Bohannon. Jack off already. Keep on typing.